Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the power of you. Yes, there you go. The power of you. You are the power that resides within you. Welcome to our power of you. Today we are honoring, reminding ourselves. The reading of the year says, Oshun is saying, love yourself. Be graceful with yourself. Find your tribe. Find your people who are going to be able to love you, see you, and be with you in a graceful way. Someone's asking for Lafayette. There you go. Yes. Today we are so grateful for today's Oshosi and Ogun's Day. I mean, the Orishas have every day is theirs. However, this is a day that we celebrate, and I went to Oshosi and fed Oshosi some liquor and spoke. And so today we want to remind us that this year we have to show ourselves love, compassion, because the 9 year is coming in so quickly. For those of you, if you have not downloaded, looked at, made a copy, have it on by your computer, by your bed, the reading of the year is saying dramatic, passionate, great things are going to happen this year because all of the things that we need are going to come back to us. They're going to come back to us. And we have the opportunity now to recognize that they served me well then, and they have the capacity to serve me now. And if the capacity to serve me now does not align with what it is I set as my boundary and where I am now, I can just lovingly step aside. This is a time for us to love with grace, step away, and allow people to be where they prefer to be. People are going to show you exactly where they are and who they are in your life. And the only way you can, because Maya Angelou says that when people show you who they are, believe it the first time. Well, sometimes it may take us 2 or 3 times to get it, but when you get it, you know that they're doing what they're supposed to do for themselves. So this is a year that we have to let people do what they would prefer to do and where they would prefer to be. So we don't have to shave to try to have that love, that support, that allegiance, that compassion, that grace for you. They're not bad. It's just this is who they are and this is where you are. Because sometimes we change so quickly and we are separated from people over distance of time and not communicating or touching bases. And we may believe that we're at the same place. And other people may believe that we're in the same place. But we're not. Because as we're moving through this year and as we move through our life, we always talk about it not being a destination. It is a journey. And so in our journey of life, from the day we were born, we're always going up, down, positive, negative, challenges, ease, periods of ease, periods of challenges. So the number 9 year is a time for us to sit back and watch how, the energy of the universe is going to come quickly. We've seen how fast it was coming. Oya shed her light with the floods this fall. And now with the tragedy that we have and the things that we're seeing going on around us, it's always been like that. Whenever there's a time for us to pay attention, then each of the universal forces or energies will come close to us. And when we have the tools to be aware and know exactly why they're happening, then we have the capacity to love ourselves, to ingratiate ourselves, to bring ourselves the grace that we want, to find our tribe, to find who will love you and who will love them with grace this year. So Oshun is telling us this year, as you ruling from the reading of the year that we did in the Institute, is Oshun and Oloku. This is a time for us to go deep within our spirits to connect to everything that we can do to say, this is a great year. Though a lot of things are going on, it's a time for us to sit back. And remember, we will be triggered. We will be triggered. Myself included. I was triggered. And I guess that's because last night I didn't know. I said, what am I going to speak about? And with me, I always, whatever is going on with me, I look at it as something to share. Because when I'm speaking to you, with you, I'm speaking about myself. Trust me, because I know myself better than anything else. So I'm really talking to myself as I speak this, because it's my way of sharing when I found the grace. I'm like, ooh, let me share this with my friends. And so I was triggered because this is a time of year where everybody wants their reading of the year. And so people are calling me and I'm trying to assist them, because the month of January is very busy for me, because I'm doing all of my clients, new clients, friends, family are wanting readings. And then my own personal reading, I have to take into consideration what it's saying to me. And so that, in the past, I used to be just, okay, I got to get it done. Let me go ahead and just push myself off, get my reading, hold it off. No, this is a year to say no. And so I got triggered when I found myself in that middle of that, I got to get it done. All these people want to know when their rituals are going to be done. They're boss. I just say, stop. Stop already. This is a number 9 year. Sit back. Do your readings, and when people are ready, they, for them, you will be able to either reach out, or they'll reach out and let you know. Because people are calling me, oh, you did the reading for me and I'm ready to do my rituals. Can I do rituals today? And I'm like, no, I can't. And I felt so triggered that I'm trying to be who I was. And this is a number 9 year. Chill, baby. It's going to take care of itself. So we got to let people do what they would prefer to do, where they prefer to be. And you take this time. We have to find the time to unconditionally love ourselves. I don't understand. I don't agree with, maybe here I'm stepping in. There is no such thing as unconditional love. And I may have talked about unconditional love before, but I have learned in this past year, last year, the number 8 year, I learned the power of love, which is you can only love people who are capable of being loved. So unconditional love, going to just say, I'm going to love everyone because, to love them is because it's my family, it's my mom, it's my father. I have to love them. It's my cousin, it's my people. Unconditional love, you got to have some conditions to be loved. You have to have your boundaries as to what will work for you. Or you're robbing yourself of the love that you deserve, that you require. So unconditional love, you got to love yourself with conditions. And you have to teach people how to love you, but you got to know who you are first. So in my trigger of trying to do everything like that, I'm like, no, you got to love yourself enough to know you're a human being. You're only one person. And if you got 35 people calling you because you did 30 readings in the past month and a half, you don't have to feel like you got to do the answers right there. Have a system, have a way. And that's why we have the free 15 minutes that you can call me. Text, you go on my website and the 15-minute chat. In the chat, he says, I'm ready to have my rituals done. What is a good day? That's better for me. Versus I'm feeling like I got to call and I got to answer to their emails and we got to get the chicken done or whatever. So love yourself enough to be graceful this year, what Oshun is saying. Love yourself unconditionally. Through any situation, look at the end product of it as how you got there. Is either you asked for love, you asked to be loved, or you tried to show up for love. So this is the year to just show yourself some grace. And that way you can be an asset. This is a year of working with the number 9 is telling you to show up in your community. Because 9 is an Odu, is a Hemi Odu. It's a number that speaks about Like, oh yeah, who she loves those who life has forgotten. She's the one who takes care of people who are adopted, children and people who are homeless. That's Oya's area. So love yourself like that, knowing that whatever happens, you are loving yourself enough to know where you could be. So share. This is a year of being very much about humanity and brotherhood and sisterhood and how we show up in community and how do we want to see the world. So all of the distractions and things that are happening so that we can say, how can I take that experience to enrich the way that I am going to act, behave, and be as I step into the world that I live in, to the community that I live in, to the family that I live with and in. How can I be an asset? How can I take all of the things that's happening and not be a distraction to feel like, oh my God, it's falling apart? Because we consistently say, Obatala told us last year at this festival, don't be afraid. There are many things coming in the world. He spoke it when the spirit angel got possessed of my compound. Obatala said, there are going to be many things happening in the world. There are going to be a lot of trauma with the weather, with things that are going to make us frightened. Obatala said, do not frighten, do not be afraid. Step into your spirit. Grace yourself with knowing that you have the capacity to find peace in everything that's going on. But you got to step back, as the music saying. Obatala said, find a nice place, find a mountain, find somewhere that you can sit and remember that you have the power to be great. You are the capacity to have love, to have peace, to have the people in your life that are going to love you, who are worthy of you, who will love you gracefully, because that is Obatala. So you can receive your love. Set your conditions, set your boundaries. Because those who find you where you are as a grace of God, then you don't have to push the relationships. You don't have to fight as to how you're going to come out of this thing that's distracting you. You don't have to think of who should I give to? How can No, just this is a year of Oshuni saying, love yourself enough to hug yourself enough to know that you are good. We have the tools. Use your tools. Look at the reading of the year, copy it, find your astrologer for it, find your diviner, sign up for a reading if you would want one, if you want a retreat, a workshop, something to that effect. Find it. Out there with all of this new technology, you can find everything. Everything is out there. So find a way of using your medicine that connects you to three things: your ori, your head, your ancestors, that's your blood, right? And your community. That's who's going to feed you on your journey. That's why when you are a baby and you have your naming ceremony, your oikomojade, your coming out to your first reading, your first celebration to the family, that's when you have your community saying, oh, look at the baby. So what's this baby's message for us? This baby's message is to show us this and that. And that's what the reading, when you get a reading on a newborn baby, is to let you know who this is and how is the community going to support this little creature. And so for us, that's how we're going to do. The reading of the year is like you coming out as a new baby. When you get your New Year readings, when you get your roots reading, it's coming out into a place of knowing, oh, wow, so this is the old dude that's bringing me this year. This is the baby that I'm going to carry this year. And then you will find that when you use the tools to nurture that baby, that new creation that you're creating from within yourself, from within confirmations, because that's all a reading is, to confirm what you already know, and giving you tools to know how. When you are doing that, baby, you are in a place where There is nothing that you can be afraid of. So don't be distracted by what's going on. Allow yourself and no, give yourself grace. Number 9 is going within and finding the God in you, the goddess in you, the spirit in you, the ancestor in you, whatever it is that you need to remind you that God has always, universe has always, spirit has always, Orisha, Olodumare has always, the fact that the in spite of all that we feel like, oh my God, this is a place that we are going to crash. The sun is still coming out in the morning and the moon is at night. So if God has the computation to allow that to happen, baby, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. So give yourself that connection to your spirit to bring loving relationships to you, and realizing that your spirit will bring all of the relationship you want, or open you to realize that those connections have always been there. So allow people to do what they would prefer to do. You don't have to shape shift for anything, situation, money, relationship, person to be who you want them to be, because they're not. They have to show up as who they are. And you have to give them that grace for them to be who they have to be, who they want to be, where they want to be. That is money in your bank, in your pocketbook, in your fill them up when you go out to the full moon. That's what you're saying. Fill them up. Fill them up with my capacity to recognize that God, goddess, energy, universal source, Olodumare, whomever you call the spirit that allows you to stay awake when you're supposed to stay awake, and who brings you breath while you're sleeping, whatever that force is, know that that spirit is there and it's yours to have. Isn't God good? Isn't spirit good? Isn't Orisha good? Isn't ancestors good? They're always with us. This Odu this year says, honor the spirit of love. Don't block people because you feel they're going to hurt you and not. No. Don't give anybody that much power. Don't have to shape shift to do what it is that you used to do in the past. This is a new you. This is a new you. Your new year reading is the new you. Give the time for you. You know, when you first get the baby and everything is cute and is loving and you want to just hug it and just kiss and sweet, and then the baby starts doing the things like, oh, the baby just pooped as I was going out the door. I got to go back in the house, take the diaper off, re-diaper the baby. And you realize, okay, this is not about me. It's about us. And so you set your schedule as that. And then as the baby gets older and the baby then sits up and the baby has colic, and in the middle of the night you have to rush to the hospital because it's a fever and you don't know what, and the doctor says he's fine, just give 24 hours and it'll be fine. And it does end up being fine. Or if you have a situation where the baby goes into some unfortunate trauma or something that you have to stay in the hospital. That's how we're going to go through this year. Find your support. Find your emergency ritual that you're going to do. Find a person that's going to be there to help you. You know, when the baby has colic, when you have colic meaning that something in your stomach didn't settle well and you want to bring it up. That's how the year is going to be, a place where you are in a new stage of being, of knowing that everything that you want is going to revisit you. This is the year that everything is going to revisit you, as I said when we first began. It's going to revisit you because it has gifts for you. Some of the gifts may be, like the baby that just threw up and you got to go in and change all of the baby's clothes. And then you go down the street and you say, oh my God, I'm so glad I had to take 10 minutes. Look at that accident. And you said, thank you, baby. Thank you, universe. That's what you're doing this year. So do not go through finding yourself in a place of worrying and be distracted at, oh my God, these horrible things are happening. So many things have happened before, and that is calling us to recalibrate as a world citizen, as a community of people that want to do and uphold suppression of people who have targets on their back, for people who society has created institutions to keep you focused on something else, why our world is falling, that our world that we know that we deserve and require and we have inherited, we lose it by being distracted. This is a 9 year. Take all of that and just lovingly pay attention by sitting in and being quiet and say, you know what? They're going to take care of that when it's done. And it's going to come when it's supposed to. Baby? Mm, mm, mm. Know that. Trust your spirit to bring loving relationships, or you realize that your spirit will bring and open you to realize that connection to spirit has always been there. Baby? So today I wanted to do a little meditation. Y'all know I like to do this. I'm using this Orisha book, John Mason's book on Oshosi. And Oshosi is the Orisha that is the hunter. It's the bow and arrow. It's the energy that when you're looking for something, it goes and finds it for you. You don't have to go. If you have Oshosi, the shrine, take that little bow and arrow. If you're in the Lukumi system and you have that bow and arrow, put that bow and arrow today on a plate. Serve some liquor. Serve some honey. Serve some palm oil, and ask Oshosi to go find what it is that you want. Those of you that were fortunate enough to be with us on the full moon, you know that you're working with the moon cycle for the next 5 days, I think we have, of pouring the moon water into the earth. Find those rituals. Find those places that are going to give you that support. So Oshosi is going to be the one to just go forward and move you. You ain't got to go out there hunting for relationships and hunting for people who will. No, you just love people and accept them for where it is and bless them for where it is that they need to be. Let people do what they would prefer to do. So we're going to sing here as to Oshosi. I already set an offering for Oshosi, as I said earlier. And I want you to just give yourself permission now to just do 3 cleansing breaths. As I'm going to sing a few bars of this chant to Oshosi and tell you what it is, so that as you're looking in your life and you do this meditation, visualize yourself with a bow and arrow. And on the tip of that arrow, you're going to see what it is that you want. What it is that you want this cycle here that we're in until next Wednesday or till the end of the month or to the end of the year, or whenever you go back and listen to this. Visualize yourself with this bow and arrow. At the tip of the arrow, you have all of the things, and you're going to see them as you visualize it. And as I chant, and you go in and let Oshosi find where it is that you need to be. Just put them on there. I want to have my car, a new car. I want to find myself the joy. I'm looking for that relationship that's going to crack my heart open and just bring me love. I'm looking for the romantic relationship that's going to allow me to really speak to the truth of what discipline comes when you're doing your work and you're not hunting people. I want my children to be able to finish school in a way. All of that. Put it on that tip as we meditate. And I'm going to chant to Oshosi. So I want y'all to take 3 cleansing breaths. And we are going to sing to Oshosi, that says, Oshosi, quick. It says, brass bells, hail the child of the hunter who knows the traditional customs. Meaning you know the rituals, so do them. To have the world, teach the hunter's child to sing well. He knows his name. Is the child of the, he knows, is the child of the king of the white cloth, Obatala. We search for the hunter, the powerful child who is saluted. We search for the hunter, the child. You always want to come and give me what I deserve. Ashe. So I want you to just take 3 cleansing breaths. You can close your eyes or leave them open. It's up to you. And breathing out. Breathing in again. And breathing out. Oshosi Babao. Centering. Visualize yourself in the woods with your arrow, and you're pulling back that arrow and allowing those things to go and where they might hit. Coro, coro, como demoro, aye, la ye, como de coda. Coro, coro, como demoro, la ye, como de coda. Oshosi, oma, oma, Oshosi, omo batala, Oshosi, omo batala. Yawake omo lerisi omo kwere oba. Oro koro como demoro, koro koro kokore moro, la ye como de coda. Mokoro koro como demoro, la ye como de coda. Oshosi oma oma, Oshosi omo batala, awade omo leniki omo kwere oba. Koro koro como demoro, oh koro koro como demoro, la ye como de oda. Coro, coro, como demoro, la ye, como demora. Oshosi, oma, oma, Oshosi, omo batala. Awade, omo leniki, yeriki, omo pereara. Coro, coro, como demoro. Coro, coro, como demoro, la ye, como demora. Continue breathing, visualizing, sending your arrow. Oshosi, teach the traditional customs. Teach the traditional customs. Let us use our rituals. Let us use our medicine. Teach the hunter's child, who I am, to know the traditional customs. Teach us, la ye, to have the world, Teach the child to sing well. Oma, Oshosi, Omo Obatala. We are the children of peace. Teach us the tradition. Let us use our medicine, Baba, as we embrace peace, as we go through our world with our arrows pointing in the direction where life will crack open, find opening to allow ourselves to know that we are capable of self-love, unconditionally loving ourselves, setting boundaries for love, and allowing people to be and to do exactly where they want to be and what they want to have. And it is with grace that we allow that, and is with grace we receive our love. Ashe. Coro, coro, como decoro, la ye, la ye. Adupe baba, me kushosi. Y'all go out there and have a fruitful hunting day and find your self-love. And remember, let people do what they would prefer to do. And you will have a good night and a good day. Ashe. Y'all have a blessed day. See you on Wednesday with the power. You got the power to be great. Odabo.